Okay, hi everybody. Today I'm just going to do a little talk about darkness and about sleep and dreams. And so I'm just going to dive into this one, and I'm going to talk about some experiences that I had. And it started when I was about 20 years old. And that summer I moved to Alaska, and I lived in Alaska for the summer to work. And as many of you know, Alaska is like light out all the time during the summer. And in my experience, it was like never quite really dark out. It seemed like the sun never really fully set. And it was pretty bright out even until like 9 p.m. So it's the opposite in the winter. It's like really dark and the sun sets really early. So Alaska is just like one of those places where the people are a little bit weird from it. And it really messed with my circadian rhythms and my perception of time. And it was just kind of a weird time in my life anyway. And so in the middle of living there, I had this dream. And in the dream, I was sitting alone, and my friends had like abandoned me to go off and do something. And it was just like a dream of very much feeling alone. And I was sitting next to this black hole abyss, and like this abyss that was right next to me was so dark and so black, and I was afraid of it in the dream. I was like, oh, it was like this looming, fearful black abyss right next to me. And so when I woke up, it occurred to me that with my two physical eyes, I have never seen black that was that black. I've never seen that low. I had never seen darkness like that. I mean, this was like real darkness. And I thought, wow. So it kind of got me thinking. And then, like fast forward to like a year and a half, 2 years later, I was living back in Portland, and I rented a house that had a dark room in the basement. And this dark room that was in the basement, it was fully equipped, but I didn't have any photography equipment, so I wasn't going to use it for photography. So instead, I made that dark room into my own personal little meditation room, and like I had my art in there. So, and I told my roommates, keep the hell out of there. It was my private room. And so I had this dark room for a while, and I used to go down there, and I would shut the door, and I would sit in there with no light coming in at all. Just me with my eyes open and pitch black. And it still was not as dark or black as that abyss from my dream when I was in Alaska. And so I was kind of like, wow, it just kind of really got me thinking about, why am I not able to see that level of black darkness outside my eyes, So while I was living in that house that had the dark room, I had another dream. Only this time I wasn't sitting next to that black abyss. I was actually in it. And I don't know how to describe this, because it was just like, I really honestly was aware, but there was absolutely nothing to be aware of. There was absolute silence. And so, not until later did I realize, well, maybe this is what deep sleep is. And all I know is that, like, I just have a memory of the experience, and I couldn't say how long I experienced it, because there was no time. There was just pure awareness, and I was it. And it was like me, but it was way beyond me. It wasn't me, my personality at all. That wasn't even there. And so it was just like this. I have this memory of that experience, and basically at some point, I don't know how to describe it, but there was this transitional, the moment happened where all of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, I heard this voice, and I knew that this was my inner voice. It was my real inner voice. It wasn't like my voice coming out of my mouth. But I heard this voice say, it said, and all of a sudden the earth woke up. And it was like, so I went from this state of just pure being where there was nothing going on to like this dream emerging. And I don't know, it was such an amazing experience. I don't even know how to describe it. So I'm not going to go into what the dream was. That dream was the most revealing dream I've ever had. It told me so much. And I'm going to get into other talks that relate to what that dream revealed to me later on. But for now, I'll just say like this dream emerged, and then I woke up. And when I woke up to the waking world, it was 3:11 a.m. And later on, I was it's just like the number 311 describes that experience in so many ways. Like people who understand numerology and numbers, like if you explore the number 311, it's a really interesting connection to that experience. I really honestly kind of thought about that dream a lot over the years, and that whole experience. And then over the last 6 months or so, I found Rupert Spira on YouTube, and he's done a number of videos about deep sleep, and are we aware in deep sleep, and what the real experience of deep sleep is. And it's actually really kind of brought me back to that dream that I had that wasn't really a dream. I mean, I get it now, and I really love his talks on this because he does a great job of articulating what it's very difficult to talk about or explain or comprehend in any way. So I really appreciate these talks in connection with that experience that I had. And I still have never seen darkness or blackness with my physical eyes that is that real darkness or blackness that I saw behind my eyes and beyond my body. And I will say that I have never really seen, I don't think that the darkness or the light that we see in our reality is the real darkness or the real light. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I've got all kinds of other stuff I'm going to talk about, but I just kind of wanted to go into this experience because I feel like it's a place that I kind of want to start, where I'm going to go down, different paths talking about different subject matter. So I'll just be back hopefully within a week or two, and it'll be sporadic, but I'll get some work done this month, and I'll talk about some of these other subjects as I can.